My name is Rosemary Martin. I'll be talking to you about college admissions, the application process. Um, most students after high school are looking at what's next. What are my plans? And some of them look at the 4-year institutions, some of them look at 2 years institutions. But either way, there is an application process that everybody has to go through, and there's different requirements for different schools. So at 17 and 18, that can be super overwhelming, especially if this is your first child. It can be even more overwhelming for the parents because you're dealing with a lot of emotions behind the process. There's a lot of questions about how do I apply, where do I apply, when do I apply, how do I get in, how do I pay for it. It's never too early to start looking. Your first point of contact should definitely be a college fair. You're going to get the most information about most schools there. There's usually over hundreds of schools participating in these fairs, so it's a good place to start and get your information. Try to narrow down what schools you want to apply for. Definitely have a relationship with your your high school guidance counselor. They're going to have a lot of information for you. They're going to help you find the right match for yourself. They're going to help you with the requirements that you might need. They're going to have advice for you. They're going to help you determine how many times the SAT you should take, what classes you should take. They're helpful for your parents as well. Your guidance counselor is going to have information for your parents about parent planning nights, college planning nights, financial aid planning nights, all kinds of stuff that the county might be putting on or your school system might be putting on, and your guidance counselor is going to be able to translate that information over to you. They're also going to have information about high school visits from your college reps. Most schools do send college reps to the different schools, high schools, to do visits with the students, and that's a good point of contact to have with a college rep from the institution you might be considering, as well as to get more information about that institution. Your guidance counselor is also going to have a lot of information about SAT prep, as well as the PSATs. They're going to be able to give you advice should you take the SAT or ACT. They're also going to be able to tell you if you're looking at an institution that might be require an SAT 2 or any specific exam that you might need to take. So you're definitely going to want to touch base with your guidance counselor about that. They're also going to have your information about what classes should you take. A senior year, you might be considering early release, but your guidance counselor is going to be able to tell you if you're applying to Stanford, if Stanford's going to like early release. So you're going to want to touch base with them on that, as well as, your general education requirements. So Algebra 2 or anything like that you might have to take to get into an institution. Next is your college visit. You're going to want to visit a college. Definitely, the worst thing you can do is not visit a college to see if it's a right fit. There's so many things you can usually do when you're on your college visit, so you're going to want to touch base with the admissions office and let them know you're coming so that they can plan some stuff out for you. For example, a campus tour, usually led by students. It's a great way to hear about the campus from the student's mouth. It's an authentic voice. Usually they're honest. You can trust them. They're going to give you their opinion, and usually they're doing this for free, so they're giving back to the institution. It's a great way for them to give back. Your college counselor might also be able to set up a visit to a class for you to sit in on a class and kind of see what a lecture would be like. That's important because you need to figure out if that's the right learning environment for you. Do you like a big lecture size or do you like a small lecture size? So that's going to be really important for you to do. Also, just meeting with your college admissions counselor, getting to know them, hearing the requirements from them. They'll also have information about scholarships, any merit-based aid, any need-based aid. They're going to be able to give you a timeline of when you'll hear back from them, as well as when you should get everything in, or if there are any specific requirements for the program you're looking at. Also, they'll be able to set up any extra things during your visit. So eating in the dining hall, maybe meeting with a student, maybe meeting with a professor, or doing an overnight stay. There's so many different options at a college visit. Every college is different, so you definitely want to see what your options are and do as much stuff as you can while you're there. If you're an athlete, you're going to want to touch base with a coach in whatever athletic event that you're interested in. You're going to want to see what their program's like, talk to the other athletes, see what they have to say about the program and the coach, see if that's a good fit for you, see if you click with the team. Also, sometimes they do overnights themselves with their teams. That's a great way to hear about the school. You're also going to want to hear about the admissions requirement or by the time you leave your visit, you're going to want to know all the requirements for that school. What's the middle 50%? What does their average student look like? Do I meet that educational requirements? Is this a good academic fit for me? Make a checklist. Does that school meet all of your requirements? Do they meet, what you're looking for in a school? Size, was it a good size? Maybe it's the dorm rooms. Do the dorm rooms really fit for you? Or maybe it's the activities, or maybe it's the sports. Do the sports fit for you? You definitely want to make a checklist and go through that. Next, you're going to want to apply. You're going to want to, if you meet the requirements, go ahead and apply. Do it online. See if the counselor gives you a fee waiver. Go ahead and use the fee waiver. But definitely get your application in. Make sure that you meet the deadlines and you're staying on top of getting your transcripts over to them. And next is the waiting game. Probably the worst part about admissions. Some schools have a fast turnaround. Some schools, unfortunately, don't have a fast turnaround, and it could be weeks, months. But that's also something that you're going to have already a good idea of, because you're already going to have asked your admissions counselor what you could expect. And then next, hopefully you have a letter in the mail saying, congratulations, you've been accepted to whatever institution that you were looking at. After that, you're going to want to start to think about financial aid, maybe doing another visit to the school. Maybe if you hadn't done an overnight, maybe try to do an overnight and start to narrow down your list of schools that you possibly are looking at. And at the end of your 4 years, this will probably not, you probably won't even remember the admissions process, but it is something that everybody goes to obtain that diploma and to walk across that stage. So it is an important part of your college career, and it's something that you need to be thinking about.